You will never succeed more than you fail. That's not how it works. You know why? Because failure is a wonderful teacher. It's the only way to learn. You have to fail. Michael Jordan, the greatest basketball player in the world, he took 946 game-winning shots. He has only made 146 of those. He has missed over 700 times, but he has made 146. You know what they write about? When you make it. They write about when you make it. So guess what? When you get through failing, all you gotta do is make one. Matter of fact, when you fail, be glad about it. Every time you fail, you're one step closer. So every time you fail, say, whew, got that out the way. Go to the next one. Fail again, okay, I got 2 out the way. What's gonna happen is if you just keep swinging, you're gonna get a hit.
Do not fear failure, but please be terrified of regret, as giving up is the birth of regret. You will receive 100 doors slam in your face. You will have 100 moments that will be filled with someone telling you no. But what I ask of you today is to not take no for an answer. Don't be afraid of no's. Be afraid of the possibility of a yes that you have prematurely destroyed because you decided to quit before the clock strikes 12. I love a good no. Please tell me no. Telling me no is like adding fuel to a fire that is now set ablaze because of your single no. I love additional reasons to work harder. Please give me a reason.
You better go inside. You still looking outside for the stuff that's already inside. You still looking for someone to save you when you already your superhero. You looking for some information from somebody when you already got what you need in your head. It's just time for you to get up and be the best version of you.
You have to never let off the gas, never stop, never quit. Never allow anyone to talk you out of the dream, the vision, and ideas. And understand that for every level, there's another devil. It is the devil's job to create challenges, issues, and conflicts, insecurities, fear, because he wants to put you to a test. But I can tell you now, I piss the devil off every day because I just don't stop. And the devil is so mad. This guy, doesn't matter if he gets sick, it doesn't matter what happens to his money or his finances, every time he gets out of his bed and he's on a mission to get it done.
And as you begin to look at your life, decide that you're going to start working on that dream. You're going to work and nurture that idea. Now, there will be people that will criticize you. There will be people that won't see it for you. But I say to you, don't let nobody turn you around. You don't need anybody to understand it. You don't need anybody to approve you. You don't need anybody to say, go ahead on and do it. If you get that, that's fantastic. If you get that encouragement, that's great. But I say stand up within yourself boldly and say, this is my life. I'm controlling my destiny.
The choice is yours of what it becomes. You choose the outcome by your choices. Do you give up or do you get up?
When you're in that hole and surrounded by darkness, you have to remember, this is not the end for you. You can still change your circumstances. It doesn't matter what's happened, how much pain you've endured, who's betrayed you, what's gone wrong. The only thing that matters right now is what are you gonna do about it?
Things are always gonna go wrong in life. That's a part of it. But you have to become more powerful to be able to push through those battles. Things won't get easier, so you gotta get stronger.
You have to find the reasons that make it worth fighting for. Because if you can find a why, you can get through anyhow. If you're doing it for a car or a house, you will quit. But if you're doing it for your family, if you're doing it for your spouse, if you're doing it for what it represents about you, you can make it through anything.
And if you can pull yourself together, if you can find a way out of no way, if you can find opportunities where most would see dead ends, if you can find life where others see death, you can make your dreams, your goals, your vision a reality.
When there's a will, there's a way. When you want something bad enough, you'll find a way and you'll stop at nothing to reach it. I need you to remember that it's always darkest before dawn. I need you to remember that you are still here. You are still alive. And as long as you're still alive, as long as you're still breathing, you have another chance to come back once again. When life punches you and clobbers you to the ground, it's your job to find the strength, find the intestinal fortitude to pick yourself up and fight back. Life's not always going to be easy. Sometimes you got to fight for what you know you deserve.
It takes believing in an outcome that is in your favor. And make no mistake about it, most people won't see it for you. Most people will tell you to give up. Most people will think you're wasting your time. But you are not most people. You've got to believe in the possibilities for you and your future so strong that it outweighs anyone else's opinions. You need to have something that knocks you to your knees. That's the only way you ever discover what's inside of you.
Life doesn't give you what you want. Life gives you what you'll accept. If you'll accept failure, hardships, disappointment, that's exactly what life's going to give you. If you want to win, you got to show up and demand success and fulfillment and happiness for yourself.
In spite of all those feelings every day of wanting to give up, of quitting, of throwing in the towel, in spite of all that, it's going to be your ability to somehow, some way, to muster up the courage to flush that out, to reach down deep and find something inside of you that will allow you to go for it one more time.
Adversity defines true character. Don't quit, don't collapse, don't faint, don't give in. Either way you go, you gotta fight.
All of us, we got the same ending. We're gonna die. So if you know you're gonna die, why are you playing it safe? I'm gonna build something. I'm gonna make something happen. I am not gonna live and die and not leave anything in the earth as a sign that I was here. I'm gonna build something. I'm gonna harness this challenge and turn it into my triumph because I will not stop.
There's all kinds of different ways to break. You can break physically, you can break mentally, you can break your heart, you can break your spirit, and none of those are fun, and all of those are gonna leave a mark. But the mark that they leave can be the mark of victory, or it can be the mark of defeat. When I'm broken, I relish it. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use it. Because if I'm broken, then I just found my limitations. And until I know what my limitations are, how can I push them? How can I get better? Once I feel it, once I see where I was broken, then I can attack that weakness. I can fill in that gap. I can reinforce that breach. If you break, it means it's time to fortify your will to make it stronger. Because every time you break, and in every way that you break, while it's a chance for you to give up and for you to fall apart, but there's also opportunity. There's opportunity to get stronger, and get smarter, and get faster, and get tougher, and get more stable, and get more resilient, and get better. When you break, you have the opportunity to show the world, the whole world, what you are really made of. The fight isn't over. The fight is just beginning. And as you crawl up and out of that dismal and wretched place, covered, and you're covered in blood and sweat and dirt and filth as you rise above what you were. And as you take the form of who you are supposed to be, you will see that in the very act of standing up, in the very act of fighting on, you will become and you will remain unbroken.
No one goes the extra mile and keeps going.
I feel like this next generation that's coming up, they seem like a bunch of pussies to me.
It's so easy to be great nowadays, my friend, because most people are weak. Most people don't want to go that extra mile. Most people don't want to find that extra because it sucks. It's miserable. It's lonely. Now I thrive in that. That's the only place to be.
There's never been more opportunity than there is right now. If you're a savage and you get out there and you grind hard and you want it bad enough, you can run all these guys over, man.
I was never the strongest guy. I'm not the fastest guy. Not the smartest guy. But I will work, and I will work hard.
I'll never be in the Olympics. I'll never be a professional athlete. But still I grind. I fail at most things I do, but still I grind. I don't want to do half the shit I do, but still I grind. And that one day, you see me down a dark alley, running at 1 o'clock in the morning, know one thing. I was grinding.
I will be up when my competitor's asleep. I will be up when my enemy is curled up in bed. I will be up getting after it.
If you can't right now, there's no one looking, man.
If no one was looking, I had a chance to sneak in some extra work. To do a little bit more while no one's looking. They'll think I'm better than I am. So I recommend you do that right now. No one's looking, you're home alone, do more!
Do I like the long hours? No. Do I like having to watch a game at 3 o'clock in the morning? No. But I have to be prepared because I'm addicted to the result.
If today you never say good enough, tomorrow you'll always have enough. Championships aren't won in the theater or the arena. They're won in the thousands of hours in the training room, the labs, and the 5 a.m. runs, and the training when everyone else is sleeping. That's when it's won. The heart of a champion is a light switch that's always on. It doesn't go on and off when someone's watching. It's constant. Champions aren't found on the podium with their hand up. No, champions are found in the lab studies, the thousands of hours of hard work when no one's watching. That's what makes the will unstoppable. When you're in here and no one else is, and you're pushing yourself harder than anybody with no one around. It's how you look at something. If your name's attached to it, then you do it right. The best of your ability every single time. If you're dusting your countertops, do you dust around the picture frame, or do you pick the up and dust the entire thing? Do the job right or don't do it at all. That's the same person who has his hand raised on the podium one day.
How you hold yourself in the small things of life. Build the character-winning blocks of the things that we're remembered for. And it begins now with no one looking. How you hold yourself. How you see yourself. What do you do when nobody's watching? If you do it then, I guarantee you'll be doing it when everyone's watching.
Execute, execute, execute. And that's what people don't do. They don't execute. Making a freaking plan is the easy part. And you have to understand, if you don't execute on the plan, if you don't get up in the morning when you're feeling tired, scared, if you don't execute, you're not just cheating yourself. You're cheating your family. You're cheating your employees. You're cheating your team. Whatever you're a part of, it's bigger than you, man. Nobody wants to do it. That's the thing. When you look at someone and you say that man or that woman has something that I don't have, nobody woke up with it. They got it from showing up every day and executing. And especially when they don't feel like it. You think that this just happens. You think, I'm going to show up, I'm going to put in my time, and then I'm going to be rich. And that ain't what happens. Everyone's always looking for other people to do stuff for them. Stop looking for help from everybody else. It starts and ends with you. You've got to do more. You've got to become valuable. You've got to understand that what you get paid to do is the minimum. And everything on top of that is your investment in your future. So if you're going to stand out, don't do the same thing that everybody else is doing.
Separate yourself. You playing against other teams and you doing exactly what they're doing. Separate yourself. Stop doing what they doing. If you stop doing what they doing, you're going to be a champion. Stop following. No more following. No more doing what everybody else is doing. Set the doggone standards. It's time for y'all to set the standard. If you decide that my life deserves my developing this what I do well, and becoming the best at it and mastering myself and seeing what I have within me, I grant you that your gifts will take you places that will literally amaze you. All of us need some area of our lives where we can have a feeling of competence. That people know when they think about this area, that's something you do. That you eat and sleep that. And that you do that. You do that. And people know it. If you begin to work to develop your gifts, you'll develop a strong sense of happiness. You'll get a larger vision of yourself. The harder you work, the harder it is to surrender.
Everything you do it like this is the last time you're gonna do it.
If you're in bed right now and you're rolling around, you can't fall asleep, get them. It probably means you haven't done an honest day's work to earn that rest at night. I can put an honest day's work in here that more than anyone does in a week, and no one sees it because it's supposed to be that way. This is the means to the ends. It's not the ends. And you're not in here to get an achievement. You're in here to pay your dues, so later in life you never wonder what it.
You know what you got to do to get to paradise? You got to fight like get to paradise. The ones that can fight, the ones that come back, those are the ones that succeed. Those are the icons of the world. There's many legends out there. There's very few icons.
Do I want to be here right now? No, I don't want to be here right now. I'm much rather be home watching the game. But later down the road, I don't want to always watching the f***ing game. One day I want to play the game. So by being here now ensures that I'm not going to be a spectator for the rest of my life. That's why I love the f***ing pain and progress.
It is the process of the grind that shapes you and forms you. It's not the game. And that's why most of y'all get beat in the game or make mistakes in the game, because you think grinding is what happens when the sun comes out. You think grinding is what happens when the lights come on. You think grinding is what happens when people get in the stage. That's not grind. The real grind is in the dark when nobody sees you. When nobody knows what you're doing, when you studying without coach, when you putting in those extra reps, when you watching those videos and you getting inspired, when you change your music, it's the process that makes you sweet. This is the difference between the good and the great. The good, they talk about it, sometimes they do it, sometimes they don't. The great execute. You gotta execute. You just got to make one more shot than they make. One more run than they make. You just got to last one more quarter than they last. You just get one more out than they get. You just one more down than they had. Execution. Execution. You just one more push up than the next man. One more free throw than the next man's willing to take. That's all you got to do. To be great, all you got to do is just a little bit more than the next person is willing to do. And if you're willing to execute just a little bit more, your percentage, if you look at Michael Jordan when he played, he made millions. And if you looked at how many points he scored, it was like 29 and the next guy was like 27, 28. What does that mean? Michael Jordan just made one more basket than the average player in the NBA. And that one more basket made him a millionaire. And I'm telling you, you're not where you want to be financially. You're not where you want to be in your personal life. And it's not going to take 20 shots. For some of you, it's one more shot. For some of you, it's two more shots. And you have not given yourself enough credit to say, I just need to get up a half hour earlier and my whole life will change. I just need to work 1 hour longer. I need to stop hitting that snooze button.
Turn your damn TV off. Turn your phone off a lot too. It's such a convenient escape from the work. It's such a convenient escape from our obsessions. Can you get laser obsessively focused almost to its exclusivity for an extended period of time? I'm talking about a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, even a decade towards something you want so badly you want it like oxygen. It's like you want it like you want to eat. You want it like you want to live. Are you extendedly laser focused on it, or do you get distracted easily?
If you have diluted focus, you get diluted results.
What happens when you hit a tree 1,000 times in 1,000 different spots? Absolutely nothing. But what happens when you hit the tree in the same spot 1,000 times, day after day after day? It does not matter how big that tree is, you gonna bring it down. If you wanna be successful, if you wanna dominate in the area, you gotta let everything go but that thing you pursuing. You can't chase 2 rabbits and catch both of them. So you put your attention on one and go after it.
It's not through diversification, it's through concentration. You gotta go all in on the thing.
You say you want to be great. You say you want to get to the next level. You say you want to be dominant. You say you want a promotion. You say you want to start your own business. You can talk it all day. You talk entirely too much about your dream. You talk too much about your goals. You just talk. We don't need all that talking, we need execution. It's not about talking, it's about doing. Shut up, go to work and show me. Show me what you got. Show me. You're wasting time from the grind. Just shut up and grind and let your grind speak for you. And you got to get to a point where you are so locked in, you are so centered that you don't hear anything around you. All you hear is the dream saying, let's go, E.T., E.T., let's go. E.T., come on. One more class, E.T. One more embarrassment, E.T. One more hour, E.T. Push, E.T. Push, E.T. Push.
Don't stop. Narrow your focus to one idea and make it work.
Stay focused on the goal.
Stay focused, stay committed, not the shallow commitment, not the commitment that's predicated upon external factors, the commitment that says, can I stay true to what I said I would do long after the mood that I've set it in has left?
Right now, make the decision that any price is worth it for you to make your family proud of you, for you to make your dream happen. Stop negotiating the price. This negotiation you keep doing in your mind. Is this really where I'm supposed to be? Is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Steals all your energy. It steals your focus. Successful people and wealthy people have a subtle distinction. They don't look at price. They look at worth. Is this worth it? If you're constantly looking at the price tag, you'll eventually relent. You'll eventually give in. Stop negotiating the price. It's a freeing experience to totally commit. When you totally commit to a business, to your fitness, it's a freeing, powerful. Can you do that? The people around you always say, it's costing too much. And you go, maybe it's costing too much. You gotta start going, no, it's worth it. On the other side of that suffering, on the other side of that sacrifice, on the other side of that laser focus is your dream. All you're going through in the process is preparing you to make the dream become a reality. It's a long grind, and it's totally worth it because it's not about where you get, it's about who you become in the process of getting there. The things you'd be most proud of is the fact that you lasted, is the fact that you got up after you quit, is the fact that you go, you know what, I did quit, but I'm getting back. I innovated, I pivoted, I improved, I grew, I fought, I clawed, I competed, I won. We have these dreams and these goals and these ideas and all these things we want to do, and life tests you. Everybody don't have what it takes.
What's your why? You'll never get to great. You'll never get to phenomenal when you wake up in the morning if you don't know your why. Why? Because when you wake up, there are going to be about 50 million obstacles. But you know what allows you to get through those 50 million obstacles? Those 51 million whys. Your why has to be deeper than your challenge. Your why has to be deeper than your obstacle. What's your why? What drives you? What moves you? What makes you say, I will not quit. I will not give up?
And everything says to quit. What keeps you going?
You gotta know why you're out here, because you're gonna get your butt kicked. It will make you cry. It will hurt deep inside. In time of adversity, you don't have an obstacle to deal with. You have a choice to make. That's what you have to do. When it's hard, you have a choice to make.
Give up or keep going. Give up or get up.
You're gonna make a lot of mistakes. You're gonna have a lot of failures. You're gonna have a lot of struggles. You're gonna feel dumb and ask questions and don't know what to do or where to go. And that's part of growing. That's part of the experimentation process. As you're working times with tears falling down your face, and you'll look back on the times and you will cherish those times. The harder the challenge, the greater the growth. As you go through that, when you come through that valley, when you come through that fight, what you become in the process, if you hang in there, what you become as a person, the kind of spiritual growth, personal growth, the kind of commitment, the character that you build, the courage that you develop, the faith that you're manifesting. You get up in the morning, you look yourself in the mirror, you're a different kind of person. You walk with a different kind of spirit. In the down moments, that's when you discover who you are. In the prosperous time, you put it in your pocket. In the lean times, you put it in your heart. You will feel pain. You will hurt. You will cry. It will hurt so much that you will cry. It's a part of the deal. You gonna go through some stuff because you're gonna have to learn how to do it. So it's gonna be some pain and it's gonna be some tears.
So when they come, you're not like, what's going on? You're like, oh, I'm a step closer to success. You're gonna cry. But what I don't want you to do when you cry is say, I'm crying. I can't believe this has happened to me. It's over. No, when you start crying, you say, yep, I'm right there. I'm closer than I've ever been before. I want you to think about those goals. I want you to internalize it. I want you to feel it. Just like when the weather is changing, you can feel it. I want you to be able to feel when you're getting closer to it and closer to it. Look at your belief system every single day and stick with it. Don't rush the process. Trust the process. Don't rush the process. Trust the process. And the process is not supposed to be comfortable. So if it hurts, if you feel like you're under heat, if you feel like you're being pressured, welcome to the big leagues. You're gonna have doubt and you're gonna have fear, but listen to me. When you have fear, fear makes you count. When you have fear, fear makes you think in ways you shouldn't be thinking. When you have fear, but when you have faith, you don't need to count. When you have faith, you don't need to go outside. When you have faith, you don't need to see how many horses. When you have faith, you don't need to see how many armies. When you have faith, you don't need to look at the parameter and see how many kids. When you have faith, you just believe and it'll happen. If you thought for 1 minute that you broke me, you got me twisted. I am not phenomenally skilled, but phenomenally will. I will not give up. I will not surrender. I will not quit. And your problem is you're giving up too easy. I need effort from you. I need you to match whatever effort the enemy is putting up. Whoever your enemy is, match the doggone effort. It is a phenomenal will that says every time I get knocked down, I will get back up. And I will succeed. I will not surrender. So whatever you gotta do, you do it. I'm not about to compromise because you're inflicting pain. And there are those of you were this close, but you compromised. You let your feelings get the best of you.
Don't give in. Don't be like everybody else. Don't give up. Don't settle because things are hard.
You are this close to your breakthrough. You are this close to your freedom. You are this close to your miracle. I know I didn't come this far to fall down now. The times when I'm tempted to look away are gonna be the times when I'm closest. You're close. Keep coming. You're closer than you think you are. You're closer than you've been before. You can't go down now. You can't tap out now. You can't die now. You can't turn around now. I'm close, baby. That's why this wind is blowing so hard. The enemy knows I'm close.
I will be physically harder and mentally stronger than anything that comes against me, my family, my business, my brothers, my sisters, my team. I will be the one that is physically harder and mentally stronger, and I will work to maintain that position. You won't beat me. No matter how many times I'm knocked down, I will muster enough strength to get back on my feet and get in the fight.
The thing about struggle, the thing about adversity, the thing when no one's around, it's just you and your shadow. What are you gonna do, man? When everything says quit, look at you going.
Your brain is the only thing you have, and your brain is talking to you in all kind of ways, and it wants to control you and pull you in these different pockets. If you can't control your own brain, and your brain controls you, you got to tell your brain where you want to go and how you want to go and how you want to get there. You got to control it. If not, it's over. When you get beat all the time, your mind wants to go to that nice spot where you're comforted, where you're not trying, where it's easy. It doesn't want to think. You have all these things in the mind, and the mind can only absorb so much. So all the pain that has to go through, it wants to push it away. So let's not do that. So every day I'm fighting where the mind wants to go. There has to be something so deep in you that drives you.
Oh, I'm wired differently. I didn't start crying. I didn't say, why me? I'm doing good to the world. I'm not hurting anybody. Why me? I'm wired differently. We turn tragedy into triumph. That's what lions do. Lions don't cry. Lions don't give up. Lions don't quit. Lions hunt. That's what we do for a living. And if you are a true lion, it does not make a difference what the circumstances is.
It means put your back into it. It means put your will into it. It means put your legs into it. It means keep pushing and keep pushing and keep pushing. It means don't stop until you reach your goal.
I want you to climb the mountain. I don't care what the mountain is. Academic probation, climb it. You done broke up with somebody, climb it. You're gonna be okay. You were diagnosed with something, climb it. You broker than you ever been, climb it. You're not where you want to be, climb it. Whatever your goal is, you keep going till you get there. This will not be the death of us. This test will be our testimony, and this mess will be our message.
We can make it! We gotta believe, we gotta be mentally strong. When we tired, that's when we gotta put our fundamentals together. That's when we gotta be more focused. I'm gonna get fundamentally strong. Everybody's great when they're not tired. The champions is when they tired, that's when the real champions come out. That's when that real dog come out. Have some heart. Remember your why. When you see I'm tired, I'ma keep going. Keep going. I want y'all to give everything you got.
You make a commitment. It doesn't matter if the winds and the waves come. It doesn't matter if the storm comes. Just keep rowing. You can't stop until you get there. If the ship goes down, you keep rowing. If the sides come up, you keep going. If you lose one of your paddles, you keep going. Hope, hope. Don't ever lose your hope, because once you lose your hope, you lost everything. I just need you to keep moving. I need you to make up in your mind that the only way you can lose is if you quit. I just need you to keep going. I might not have been stronger. I might not have been smarter. I might not have been brighter, but I made up in my mind, I'm gonna get through this. I am not phenomenally skilled, but I'm phenomenally willed. My IQ may never change, but my will changes every year. I get stronger and stronger and more determined. Why? Because it's in my DNA. When you get to this point, it ain't talent, it ain't smarts, it ain't none of that. It's that dog.
When you think of A-list actors, Harrison Ford has been at the top of that list for 4 years. And I guarantee you, some idiot has said at every single success that Harrison Ford has had must be nice. Because people only see the highlights. They don't see the 20 years that this man put into this craft. They don't see the hard times. They weren't there for the work. They didn't see him sweat. They didn't see him panic. They didn't see him have nervous breakdowns. They weren't there cheering him on when he got rejected again and again and again, but refused to quit. That's why Harrison Ford is a multi-millionaire. That's why he's a Hollywood legend. So if you want to win, it's all about what you're willing to do, how long you're willing to go, how many punches you're willing to take in the face, and how many times you're willing to get back up. That can't break you. Only you can break you.
I need you to stop talking negative, and I need you to decide what area do you want to win. And I need you to wake up tomorrow ready to put work in. I need you to wake up tomorrow, and I need you to be determined that no matter what, this is my North Star. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to accomplish, and I need you to go get it.
What do you do when you've lost your spirit, you've lost your job, you lost everything, life been devastated, and you losing every day? Life whipping your butt every day. Life is like a grindstone. It can polish you or it can pulverize you, depending on how you position yourself. Out of 365 days, there are going to be days you don't feel like getting up. There are going to be days you don't want to work out. There's going to be days that you don't want to practice. There might be days you don't even feel like getting in the game.
This is where most of you break. At test day, when you just lost your best customer. When you're fighting with your wife or your husband or your boyfriend or your girlfriend. When you just got betrayed by a good friend. When you feel like the sun don't come up and you just want to shelter down. That day, you give twice as much. If I go to bed at 4 a.m. because I stayed up all night, let's say my kids are sick, and I say I'm going to go to the gym at 5, I go to the gym at 5. You know why? I'm not going to break on a test day.
Don't fail the test. Don't give in. Don't quit. You grab your enemy by the throat and you keep fighting. And you keep fighting and you keep fighting and you keep fighting no matter what.
Test days are not something to be dreaded. Test days are only to be dreaded by people who can't pass the test. And all of you have the ability to pass the test.
It is on those days that determine how your life builds.
You wake up today, you got a headache? Suck it up. You wake up this morning, don't feel like going to the gym? Most people don't. Go anyways. You wake up this morning, don't feel like talking to somebody? You need to talk to somebody as fast as possible. Test days are what make you a savage.
You gotta discipline yourself, and you gotta learn that when you don't feel like it, you must still do it, or actually go harder when you don't feel like it.
Those that can kill test days and stay about it all day long are those that annihilate the rest. I want you to make a commitment today that from this point forward, you're gonna become the most savage that ever lived. You're gonna be smarter, you're not gonna stop, and you're gonna give it all you got.
We live as prisoners in our minds. We're in a mental recession. It's time for us to realize a lot of people are getting weaker right now. It's time for us to get strong. When everything falls apart in your life and your plan is up, what you're gonna do is only one option. Stay hard.
You can't never feel bad when you put forth 120%. You can't let the outcomes make you feel whack. I'm not whack, I'm a warrior. You know how much I went through to make that thing happen? You know how many trials and tribulations, you know how many obstacles I had to get through to make that work? I got through all of them. Oh, I feel depressed. I'm going through it. Stay focused. Stay focused on the goal. You are so focused on what you can't control that you're not putting your energy, your spirit, your ethos, your trust on what you can control. What you can control is putting your gym shoes on and going for a run. What you can control is what time you go to bed. What you can control is what time you wake up. What you can control is what you watch on TV. What you can control is how you use your schedule. What you can control, you can control. This ain't time to be whining. This ain't time to be crying. This is time to get focused. You think the lion look the way he does because of what he eat? You think that physique is that because of what he eat? It's not. It's the hunt that make it look like that. It's the hunt. Because every time it get up and it go out, it's got to run. Every time it go out, it's got to jump on my man and boom, bring my man to the ground. But I promise you, whatever they catch, it ain't just letting them eat it. It's a fight going on. And every time it fight, it gets stronger. Every time it fight, it get more ferocious. Every time it fight, it becomes more of what it is.
Your mind has to be stronger than your feelings. On those bad days, when you think that you're alone, you just might be. Because you know why? No one else wants to do it. So you be that always gets it done.
Every step you take, you get that much stronger.
The greatest of all time, if you were to peel back who they are on the outside and look deep within their soul, you're going to find a savage warrior. Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, these dudes weren't on the court at 4 a.m. in the morning doing chest passes and free throws because they wanted to win over the hearts and minds of the fans. No, they wanted to go out and slit throats every single day of their lives in their careers. And when people tell you you can't, people tell you you won't, people tell you your dreams are too big, you're never going to accomplish them, when are you going to grow up and get realistic? When your girlfriends leave you, your boyfriends abandon you, when all that happens, we got to know what to do with this energy, otherwise it's up. It paralyzes us. It makes us ineffective. So we take all the negative, we take all the frustration, we take all the things, and we don't lash back out. We take it and we put it up on our shoulder as a big giant ship. And every single time that we feel like not doing what we should do, every single time we feel like quitting, every single time we feel like throwing in the towel, we go up here and we list down the things that people have said to us. We list down the things that people have done to us, and we find the energy to go take productive action.
Some people, you just, y'all start losing and you just stop playing. You just like, I give up, I quit, we already lost.
And so you let it go. And you settle for the status quo. You settle for the easy road. You settle for, oh well.
But here's the thing. There is no passion to be found playing small and settling for a life that's less than the one you're capable of living.
Greatness is a lot of small things done well. Day after day, workout after workout, obedience after obedience, day after day.
You think you're just gonna change the game, you're just gonna change the rules. It don't work like that. There's a standard to greatness and there's levels to this.
To get something you never had, you have to do something you never did.
And some of you right now, you are where you are, you're giving 60% when you have 120 in you. There are those of you with a big dream but a little grind. I need you to pick your grind up. I need you to pick your grind up. There's nothing wrong with your dream. You have a great dream. But your grind does not affect your dream. And I need you to wake up every single day, and I need you to use your 24 hours like you've never used it before. You gotta get tired of losing. You don't belong at the bottom, and it's time for you to get your butt from down there. It's time for you to stop being comfortable at the bottom. Get your butt up. Get where you belong. Do what you're supposed to do. Live like you're supposed to live. I made a decision. Enough is enough. It's showtime. And your grind has to match your dream. You can't play as much as you used to play. You can't go where you used to go. You can't do what you used to do. And now you gotta push your grind up to match your dream. You still fighting people. You still cussing folk out. You still laying hands on people. That's the easy fight. Now fight your bad habits. Fight your addictions now. Fight your laziness. Fight your procrastination. Take that energy now and fight to get a degree. Fight to start a company. Fight. Use that energy for something positive. And so while you talking about your haters, it ain't your haters that's stopping you. It's you that's stopping you. You gotta go get it. It might take you more than 6 months. It might take you more than a year. It might take you more than 2 years. I don't care how long it takes. I don't care the sacrifice. You put in too many hours. You made too many phone calls. You put in too much money. You've invested too much time to quit now. You've given too much. You should have quit last year. You should have quit 2 years ago. You've come too far to give up. The only thing you can do right now is go all in. You gotta create the type of scenario that if it doesn't work, you lose everything. And because you cannot lose everything, you gotta make it happen.
Put yourself in a position where you can't retreat, where it's do or die, sink or swim. Here's what you'll find out. You'll develop incredible swimming skill. You'll find yourself stroking unlike you've ever seen before. Through the inspiration of desperation, you'll become more creative than ever before.
If you want to take the island, burn the boats, and you will take the island because people, when they're going to either die or succeed, tend to succeed. You can't have that life until you're willing to put in that work. I need you to hustle until you no longer have to introduce yourself. I need you to work this business so hard that you don't have to convince anybody. I need you to work this business so hard that they begging you to get in. They begging to get on your team. They're begging to go on the road. I need you to hustle so hard. I need you to go in so hard that people start calling you and you don't have to call them.
You owe it to yourself to give it your best effort. If you get in the habit of being mediocre or doing just enough to get by, you're not hurting anybody but you. You're cheating you.
But you're giving 50% and you said it's not working. You're giving 60% and you said it's not working.
Weak people who lose, they have bad happen to them and they say, well, I tried, I did my best, it was this guy's fault, it was my boss's fault, and they make all these excuses. And winners do not do that at all. They get punched in the face, they sit down for a second and they say, and they get back up and they keep going. I choose to perceive the difficult days as a test that has showed up to reinforce the belief that I have in myself, to reinforce what I know about myself. And if we all approach the difficult times like that and we continue to push through, our confidence will go up tremendously. Is it easy? No. Is it worth it? Yes. Yes, your life is worth it.
It's time for you to unleash the beast. It's time for you to go inside and unleash that fire, unleash that purpose, unleash your passion. You gotta make a commitment that you'll never ever give 60%. You'll never ever give 70%. From this day forward, you give it 120%.
120%. That's my standard of excellence, my standard of greatness. 120 is being better and bigger and bolder, going further and faster, setting goals and shattering goals. 120 is giving my all. 120 to the day I die.
Everybody wants to be a beast. Everybody wants to succeed. The challenge becomes that most of us, when it's time to do what beasts do, we don't do it.
Anybody can go to the gym when they feel like going to the gym. Anybody could show up to work and give 100% when they feel good about what they're working on. But what makes successful people successful is what they do when they don't feel like it.
I find it amazing how a cat can say they want something. A cat can say, man, I'm all in with you, let's ride. And
And then conditions and circumstance change. And the words that they once spoke means nothing to them. Like commitment is staying true to what you said you was true to long after the mood that you set it in has left. Meaning on the days when we don't feel like doing what we once said we was going to do, we going to step up and we going to do it anyway because those are the days that build character.
Get over your feelings, because feelings go up and down. For some of you, you're too seasonal. When you're excited, the first week, the first month, the first 3 months when you got that job, you were excited, and so you was putting forth effort. You were there on time. You was leaving late. You was doing everything they told you. Now you got comfortable, and you're not excited no more. And guess what happened? Your effort has gone down. Your problem is you know what your best is, but you can't produce it consistently. You're your biggest problem. Everything is external that moves you. Now I want you to start moving yourself internally. I want you to be able to push your buttons. You control your feelings. Don't nobody else control your feelings. So when you tell me I ain't feeling it no more, it don't got nothing to do with something external. It's something internal that you ain't pushing no more. You don't have to be excited. You made a commitment to that job. And commitment said, I don't care how I feel. I don't care if I'm excited. I don't care if I'm pumped up. I don't care if I'm fired up. I'm doing this because I made a commitment. Now it's time to put up. It's easier to watch greatness. It's easier to go see greatness than it is to put in the time, to put in the energy, to discipline yourself, to sacrifice. It's easier. And so that's why you average. That's why you don't want to wake up in the morning. That's why you pissed off with Monday, because Monday is the day that you're supposed to go mold and shape and create your greatness. That's why you like Friday. I get it. Because Friday you get to chill. You don't have to face yourself on Friday. You don't have to face yourself on Saturday, on Sunday. That's the day that everybody is partying, everybody's drunk, everybody gets to forget that they didn't become who they were supposed to come during the week. That's why. But I challenge you. I challenge you to go from average. I challenge you to go from good. I challenge you to go from great. And I challenge you to be phenomenal. I can't make you stop hitting the snooze button. I can't make you wake up. But I dare you, I double dare you, the next time you get up in the morning, I dare you not to go back to sleep. I dare you to get up, and I dare you to chase your dreams. Because beast mode makes more money than average does. We're not gonna wait. We're gonna do work. We're gonna put in work. Because every time you put in work, you get the same consequences. You get paid. You get rewarded.
Your mind wants to go to a nice spot where you're comforted, which is easy. It doesn't want to think. You have all these things in the mind, and the mind can only absorb so much. So all the pain it has to go through, it wants to push it away, so let's not do that. So every day I'm fighting with a mind that wants to go. I've never arrived. You have to live that way. You need to be in a spot that's hungry. Work out every day. Better yourself every day. Suffer. Go back to a spot that's not so comfortable for you. What did you do today to get uncomfortable? What did you do today? I don't give a fuck what you did 20 years ago. If you can get through these different barriers and gain 2%, 3%, 5%, that 40% becomes 60. That 60% becomes 70, 80, and 90. And then you'll hopefully one day near 100.
You got to come out your comfort zone, because your comfort zone is the deadliest place you will ever be. If you don't grow, you're dying. If you do not expand your business, expand your life, expand your mind, if you don't push to grow, you're dying. You should never feel comfortable. You should be happy and dissatisfied. You should double your business, triple it, because the attempt to get more makes you into something better.
If you can find a way to push through pain, there's something great on the other side of it. And until you come out your comfort zone, you will never touch a certain level of greatness. If you stay stuck in your comfort zone will keep you living a mediocre life. You want to touch fine things in life? Leave your comfort zone.
You're going to be intentional. You're going to be deliberate. You're going to be strategic. That means that there's not a day that's going to go by. There's not an hour that's going to go by. There's not a minute that's not going to go by that is not accounted for. I'm not talking about putting forth effort because your coach told you to. I'm not talking about doing your homework or coming to class on time and sitting up front and giving 120% in the class for your teacher. No. I'm not talking about your boss. We're not talking about outside no more. Now we're talking about an inside job. I'm talking about putting forth effort for self-pride, self-respect. I'm talking about doing it for you. I'm talking about at the end of the day, you being able to look yourself in the mirror and say, I'm proud of myself. You do it for you. You need to be able to step back and look at your work and say, it is good. You want to feel good about yourself because you put forth every single fiber, every single effort that you have, you putting it forth.
What do you do when your battle chooses you? What do you do when something shows up on your doorstep that you did not directly cause, choose, or definitely anticipate.
There's problems that we go through that cause stress, worry, anxiety, and fear, but you might be in the battle of your life. I want to encourage you. It's not about what's happening around you. It's always about what's happening inside of you.
Life is hard sometimes. Easy, it's not an option. It's hard. Keeping your spirits up, getting up every day knowing and feeling that death is watching over you and say, you better sleep with one eye open because I'm waiting on you. It's hard when you're hurting. It's hard. You got bills, you got responsibilities. It's hard. But it's worth fighting. It's worth believing. It's worth giving yourself a chance. It's worth mustering yourself up, standing up inside yourself. It's worth fighting relentlessly, never giving up. You can do it. You can do it.
Just because you feel afraid doesn't mean you have to be afraid. Just because you feel discouraged doesn't mean you have to be discouraged. Just because you have fear doesn't mean fear has to have you.
When you have fear, fear makes you speak in a certain way. When you have fear, but when you have faith, you don't need to count. When you have faith, you don't need to go outside. When you have faith, you don't need to see how many horses. When you have faith, you don't need to see how many armies. When you have faith, you don't need to see how many swords. When you have faith, you don't need to count no shields. When you have faith, you don't need to look at the parameter and see how many against. When you have faith, you just believe and it'll happen. You gotta get to the point where you don't need a car anymore. You don't need a house anymore. You don't need to be pushed by anybody anymore. Your dreams, your wife is gonna push you. Your spouse is gonna push you. Your child is gonna push you. The need to get better is going to push you. Because you're closer than you're ever going to be, it's gonna push you. You don't need anything to push you. Your goals are gonna push you. Your dreams are gonna push you. The opportunity of a lifetime that happens in this particular time frame is gonna push you. It's gonna drive you. It's going to make you better.
You gotta tell life, I don't know who you've been dealing with, but you ain't dealt with me. You gotta tell bankruptcy. You gotta tell divorce. You gotta tell sickness. I don't know who you've been dealing with, but you come up against the wrong one this time.
If you are willing to grind, you can start from nothing. When I talk about beast mode now, I'm talking about the ant that's very small, but that can probably lift 100 times his weight. I'm saying that some of you in this room, you might not be a lion yet. Some of you in this room, you might be an ant. You might have small beginnings. You might not have a lot of money. You might not have a lot of resources. You might be the ant, and the ant has very little, but he's determined. He's strong. He has a dream and a goal, and he'll do whatever it takes.
Many of you right now, life's got you up against the rope, and you got to do me a favor. Like, you can't give up. You can't give in. Listen to me. If it was easy, everybody would do it. And if life's got you backed up, I need you to start fighting back. When the going get tough, the tough get going. When you go through the valley, when you have been knocked down, when you know what it is to be destroyed, when you know what it is to be wiped out by life, no one can take that from you.
If you come from a family right now that's broke, use that to your advantage. I use that to my advantage that I was a high school dropout, that I was homeless, that I ate out of trash can. I love dealing with a dude who think because he come from money, he better than me. Let's go. You got money, but do you got that dog? Yeah, you got money, you got privilege, but do you got that dog?
There's certain things when you privilege that mama can buy you, but you can't buy grit, and you can't buy grind, and you can't buy resilience, and you can't buy heart, and you can't buy that dog. I got this dog for being homeless. I'm getting paid now because the homelessness didn't break me.
Come on, you need to remember, this is not the first time you cried. This is not the first time you were short of breath. This is not the first time you didn't see a way clear. This is not the first time you were hurt. This is not the first time your heart was broken. This is not the first time you didn't have enough money. This is not the first diagnosis that came up from behind.
Say, I'm gonna live to tell the story. This too shall pass. I will remain. I'm not gonna quit. Every one of my burdens, there's a blessing on the inside of it. If you don't quit, you will win, baby. Just keep coming back. If you got nothing left to give, just show back up. Half of life, man, is just showing up.
I couldn't give up. Homeless, I still couldn't give up. I'm one class shy, the PhD. I can't give up. Why? Because the value, what it's worth, what I put in too much. I've given too much. I sweat too much. I've given up sleep. I've given up friendship. I've given up so much stuff that I had to get back later. Why? Because the value, I put too much in it. What's it worth to you? What does it cost? What price have you paid for it? What has it cost you? And if it costs you something, then you better not quit until you get a harvest. You better not quit till it's fully developed. You better not quit in the midst of the process. I need you to speak victory. I don't care what's going on around you. I need you to speak victory. I need you to talk victory. I don't care what your circumstances are. I don't need you to speak your reality. If you broke, you ain't got to tell the whole world you broke. I need you to speak victory. I need you to say I'm going to graduate when you can't even see it. I need you to say my book will be finished. I'm an author long before it's finished. You have to believe it when you cannot see it. You have to speak it and say it's so that can become a reality. Because if you can speak it, if you can say it, you're going to eventually get to it.
While they judge you, you grind. While they make fun of you, you double down on your effort. While they sleep, you study. While they keep talking about you, you keep working.
And years from now, when they look at their own life and compare it to yours, they'll look like in comparison to you. Because you will be miles ahead of them.
You've got to focus on you. There's going to be so much noise from the outside world trying to steal your focus, trying to tell you you're not good enough. There's going to be haters all the time on what you're trying to accomplish in your life.
You gotta shut them up with your results. The best way to silence them is through activity, through success.
Who cares what they say? Who cares what they think? You've got to be so confident, so committed, so locked in on your mission that you don't even notice them anymore. They blur into the background while you focus entirely on your goals.
When life presents its challenges, it's a call for you to stand up for yourself, to fight back. You're going to be attacked constantly by all these voices around you and sometimes within you. Don't let the negative thoughts or the words of others derail you. Affirm to yourself that you can do it. You can handle it. You're going to get through it. No small obstacle can halt your progress. The strategy is to keep your focus directed inward, consistently working on improving yourself, pursuing your dreams, and building your future.
Your success and achievements will speak volumes, serving as your comeback to any disbelief and negativity.
Always remember, the real victors in life are those who concentrate on their path, building their own road to greatness, undisturbed by the distractions that surround them.
When you can focus solely on you, you stop giving about what others think. You activate your button, and this is what you gotta do if you want to be successful. Because the world doesn't give a about your dreams. It's gonna beat you down and take it all away from you if you let it. So you gotta decide that you're gonna stand up for yourself, and you have to grind every day.
You're going to have to lose something where you're trying to go. You might have to give up some friends. You might have to give up some opportunities. You might have to give up some stuff in order to go from good to great. Develop a single-minded obsession with your goals. You have to eat, sleep, and breathe your dreams. Every action, every thought should be aligned with getting you closer to where you want to be.
This process is about discipline, pushing yourself even when you don't feel like it. It's about waking up every day, starving for success, ready to tackle whatever challenges come your way. And yes, it's gonna be hard. People will talk, question, and doubt you constantly, but that's their problem, not yours. Your job is to stay focused and keep your eyes on the prize.
Doing what you hate to do is one of the most powerful disciplines you can develop. It's about stepping out of your comfort zone, tackling the tasks you dread, and facing your fears head on. It's not just about enduring discomfort, it's about actively seeking it out and conquering it.
And all these average people around you won't understand why you're doing so much, why you're trying so hard, why you won't just take a break and hang out with everybody. They won't get it. And that's why they won't ever reach the levels of success you will. Because as you stay focused on the goal at hand and you keep pouring in all this time and effort into that thing, you'll start to see massive returns on that investment.
Normal people will keep judging you and won't ever understand and continue talking about you. Don't waste your time trying to change their minds. Just shut them up with your results. Because the best revenge in life is massive success. You prove them wrong with success. They won't have anything left to talk about.
But in order to get to that point, you gotta have mental toughness. It's easy to do things when you feel like it, but doing something you hate, especially when you don't want to, is hard. But the more you do it, the more you push yourself to execute when your body and mind tells you to take a break, the stronger your willpower to do hard stuff will become. You build your level of grit through completing hard tasks. They will make you stronger.
The things we resist are the things that offer us the most significant opportunity for growth. By facing these tasks, you find new passions, develop new skills, and uncover strengths you didn't even know you had.
And when you're working, you need to minimize distractions. In today's world, with constant notifications and interruptions, it's crucial to create an environment conducive to focus.
Managing your time is absolutely essential. Don't just wing it. Plan your days and stick to that plan. Break your tasks into smaller chunks so you don't get overwhelmed and lose your mind. Stay on track and don't let procrastination get the better of you. The real champions of this world, they don't play around with focus like it's some short-term game. They commit to it like it is their lifeline. They lock in on their goals with a laser-like focus, and they don't let go. Not for a day, not for a week, not for a month. They stay dialed in for as long as it damn takes. They treat their objective not just as distant dreams, but as inevitable realities. Their goals are not mere wishes. They are future truths they're working to manifest. Every step they take, every decision they make is driven by an unwavering commitment to their vision.
It's this level of dedication, this refusal to be sidetracked or derailed, that separates the true achievers from everybody else in the world.
You're gonna have so many people tell you, you don't have what it takes. How are you, of all people, gonna do that? You're being unrealistic. You're not gonna make it. Don't believe a word they say. You're gonna have to block out the noise of everyone around you and focus on yourself.
You go after and you give it all you have. If you lose, at least you tried, man. I failed. It's 10 times more of a man than someone said, what if? Because what if never went to the arena. It's not the genetic guy who wins, or the guy with the most potential that wins. It's a person with the greatest perseverance that wins. Always willing to get up and go at it again and go at it again. That's the guy who has his hand raised later in life, guys. That's the guy you guys need to be.
Every true leader, they're called weird. When you do the things of real leadership, you're going to be called strange. Get strong enough in your own skin that when people laugh at you or when they throw stones at you, you keep on going. What are you going to do now? How are you going to control that now? How are you going to flip it upside down and say, Roger that, now I'm going to harness this, and you'll read about me years from now.
Everybody who wronged you in the past, they gonna have to feel you. They gonna have to see you. Don't get even. Don't worry about getting even when you already beat the odds.
You want to make your dream come true, you got to stay focused. Some people rather get even than get ahead. Stay focused on where you want to go. I just kept on doing what I was supposed to do.
You have to be relentless. You have to never let off the gas, never stop, never quit. Never allow anyone to talk you out of the dream, the vision, and ideas that God has sent you.
We all get knocked out. I've had my haters. I've had people who come against me, who try to sabotage me. I'm like the lion. I'm not the gazelle. I don't need something external to motivate me. I find something within.
You got to come out your comfort zone, because your comfort zone is the deadliest place you will ever be. You should never feel comfortable. You should be happy and dissatisfied.
Your ability to go all in, and when I say all in, I mean all. Every moment, every minute, every hour, every day, every week, every month, every year, for as long as it takes For you to get where you're going, you should be consumed with that path. What you do at night matters. What you do in the morning matters. What you do when your friends are out drinking matters. What you do on Saturday matters. What you do on Sunday matters. The success clock doesn't give a what day it is. It's gonna run no matter what. And you guys pretend like you can work 7, 8, 10 hours a day and then spend the rest of your time off, and you think you're gonna be somewhere, and you're not. And you're surrounded by people who enable this thought process. Your good friends, your family, people who have accepted mediocrity as a life. Oh, you don't need to work on weekends. Why do you work so hard at night? Why do you get up so early and do that? Why do you train so hard? Why are you reading all these books when we're out drinking beer?
When you're obsessed, they're like, why are you gonna be so crazy? Why can't you be satisfied? Why do you always gotta get things so perfect? When you're obsessed, people think you're nuts.
Anybody ever tell you, hey look, just be satisfied with what you got? No! Don't believe them. Get them away from you. You should never be satisfied with what you got. You should double your business. Because the attempt to get more makes you into something better.
Easy never pays well. So if you're thinking that it's just going to be a walk in the park, you're dead wrong. You have to give it every bit of effort and energy you have to pull it off. And you have to work harder than everyone else. Work while they sleep, learn while they party, save while they spend, and live like they dream.
For some of you, your problem is there's some stuff you don't want to give up to go up. There's certain things you cannot get. There's certain levels you can't go to. There's certain things you can't be. When you're not committed and when you don't feel like doing it, guess what happened? You don't do it.
What's in your head is the voice of weakness and laziness, saying you don't need to go hard, saying you can take the day off. You got another voice in your head that's asking you a question. It's asking you, what could you be? What could you be if you worked as hard as you could? What could you be if you imposed real discipline in your life? What could you be?
It's that demon voice that whispers in your ear that says, get up, you're not good enough. You gotta work harder. You haven't put enough time in. We don't like that feeling. We don't like that challenge. We like that person who says, hey, it's okay, brother. We'll take a day off. Maybe we'll get a pizza and watch the game. We like that. We love that feeling. Why? Because you understand, man, we're good, bro. That's the mediocrity of life. We don't want that who's like this. Hey, man, no, bro. Get your on, man. Stop being a punk. We don't want that in our lives. We don't want that person who's constantly challenging our weaknesses. It's that voice you don't want to hear. But guess what? It's that voice you need to listen to.
I don't know where you're gonna end up if you implement discipline into your life, if you start lining up tasks and smashing them, if you start aggressively pursuing your goals. I don't know where it's gonna end up, but you know what? I got an idea. Let's find out. Let's find out where it ends up. Let's find out where it goes when you implement discipline in your life and you start getting after it.
I'm talking about being self-regulated, where you don't need nobody to wake you up in the morning. You don't need no alarm clock. You don't need a teacher telling you what you should and shouldn't be doing.
You need to work harder. You need to discipline your mind better. And so many people just want it the easy way. We put a governor on our brain, the second we feel pain, discomfort, suffering, we slow down, we stop.
You want a bad life? Then we gotta have hardcore rules. No weakness. Everybody has 60,000 to 70,000 thoughts going through their mind a day. Now, the thoughts you had yesterday, you think those same thoughts are gonna come today? Yes. You know why? Because if nothing changes, nothing changes. You wanna know why your mindset's not changing? You wanna know why your beliefs not changing? Because you have the same record playing in your head every day about how today's gonna go.
Every day when you wake up, you got two options. You can look at the clock and hit the snooze. You can look at that snooze button, boom. You can hit the snooze button and go back to bed and dream about what you want to have. Right there with your comfortable pillow, you dreaming about what you want to be. Or you can look at that snooze button, kick that clock and get up and go pursue your dreams. And when you embrace the grind will reward you.
Whatever you put into something's whatever you get out of it. But some of you think something gets better by bitching and whining and complaining and feeling like a little victim. You could have been that guy that had the six-pack, the back car, all the money in the bank. All you needed was that discipline to lock it in. So as I'm talking to you, you can make excuses or you can own all.
But if you ain't working for it like that, it don't mean that. You don't really want it. You gotta work. People say, man, how you get so big? Because I knew my goal. I knew what I wanted to be. I ruled my body. I run my body. I tell my body what it wants to eat. I work out even when I don't feel like it. I work out because it's not what I do, it's who I am. And so if you want to be successful, you got to rule yourself.
You have to make a list of the things that you don't like to do. If you don't like making calls, the very first thing you should do, call a lot. Guess what happens? You get over it. You have to triple down on your weaknesses and make that become where you start to guide yourself. Okay, I don't like calling. Today I'm making 100 calls. I'm gonna dial 100 times. And when you do that, that's where you grow. It sucks, but you have to continue to fight and move on. Nothing is easy, but you have a choice to make. Do you want to sit down and go back to that guy you once were? No. So this is what it takes. And every day you wake up, it sucks. And when it's over, you feel better. It sucks, you feel better. It sucks, you feel better. And as you get going, every step you take in that journey, you're beating the demon again.
Well, what do you do on the days that you don't feel like? Every day I feel like. Every day I feel like eating. Every day I feel like giving my wife the best life. Every single day of my life, I feel like giving 120. Every single day. It's because I'm counting on me. My wife's counting on me. I don't have days to waste. I've been getting up so early for so long. I've dominated my sleep pattern. I've dominated my laziness. I've dominated procrastination. That when I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, my body just click at 3 o'clock in the morning. Discipline. Discipline is you do it so long and so hard and you're so passionate about it that even when you don't feel like it, you still operate at the highest level. No more 50%. No more 70%. No more. I want you at 85 and climbing. And I mean moving rapidly. And I know if you guys operate off 120 with the spirit that you have, it's going to be on a whole nother level.